So I'm so glad you're all here this morning on a Thursday morning, and really glad to have you. So just a couple housekeeping items as we get started and as people are joining. So I am recording this obviously, and we will send out a replay tomorrow. So you'll have that if you want it. And also, as I created this, and my intention for this monthly marketing, I called it a class, but I'm really feeling called like it's kind of like a support group. Because we all have challenges around marketing. And I talk to so many women as I'm out and about in the world. And when I tell them what I do, that I'm a marketing coach, they're like, oh, marketing is so hard and I'm overwhelmed. And, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I don't feel like I'm doing it right. And it feels icky. And so I want to just kind of be the place where we can come, and this is a safe space. We can air all of that. I have those feelings too, and I definitely, and marketing is always changing. And so we feel like, okay, even if we're in a great place and we feel like we got it dialed in, then, things change, or we see things not working as well as they used to, or whatever. So I will be holding this each month on the last Thursday at this time. So you're always welcome to come and join, and I'm going to have something to bring as teaching, and then we will have time for discussion, integration of that, kind of some masterminding around that, and around whatever challenges are coming up for you. So feel free to bring those challenges to this time. And I asked, for people if anybody had any challenges on the emails. And so I'll share with you some of what I have been hearing, and we'll talk about those too, because there's a lot of people that will be watching this on replay and in the future. So, okay, so I'm just going to start by introducing myself for those of you that we don't know each other that well. I'm Melissa Kellogg-Lewick, and I am the founder and CEO of the Avanti Business Academy for Women. And my mission on this planet is to help as many women that want to create financial freedom through entrepreneurship. And my slice of that pie is through great marketing. And I've had my business for 19 years. I've been working in marketing for over 20 years. And so I always tell the story, when I started out, the big tactics were Yellow Pages ads and AM radio ads, right? So marketing has changed, but a lot has stayed the same throughout that time. And so what I really want to teach you today is very foundational of how I think, because I can teach you, how to do all these things, and you can go out and do all these things, but where it's going to be the most effective for you as CEOs is learning how to think about marketing, and really what are the foundational principles so you can go out and be your own marketing expert, right? And that's what I would love to see for all of you and all of us, to really develop that confidence and trust in ourselves around marketing, and how to sell and how to spread our message. And really this training, this room is for women that are in trust-based service businesses, right? We're the helpers, we're the coaches, the consultants, the advisors, the facilitators, the assistants. And so the kind of marketing that I do, the kind of marketing that I teach, and the way that I think is really effective for you folks. So yeah, that's our introduction. I gotta come over here to my notes. Otherwise, I'm going to get off track and just chat. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I don't have that many slides because I want this to be kind of a more informal discussion, but I have a lot to teach. So there's plenty of goodness for you as well. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share this one, and then talk my way through it. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to make this one bigger so I can see you guys. Okay. All right. So this is our monthly marketing class, and I will be changing this to support group because I love teaching, but also I love supporting. So, okay, so our agenda today, what I really want to teach you today is what makes great marketing, what great marketing really is. I'm going to teach you my simple method of marketing that, if done over and over, will create as many clients as you have capacity for. I'm going to teach you how to do marketing from a different place that will help you to be more confident and impactful, and help you actually, I guess my greatest hope is that you could actually enjoy marketing and think about marketing as something that that you could enjoy. Okay, I've got someone else coming in here. I'm gonna just, oh yeah, we'll let her in. So we're going to talk about doing marketing from a different place and help make it more effective and impactful. And so we're going to talk about what makes great marketing. I'm going to share with you my simple method of marketing. I call it my keep it simple sister method. And how to show up and be confident. So, all right. So who's ready? Who's ready to feel grounded in your marketing rather than intimidated and inadequate? Who's ready to see how marketing can be as impactful and life-changing as the work you do with your clients? And who's ready to feel more connected to your best fit clients rather than distant from them in your marketing? And that's really what I want to help you create today. So let's go. Okay. So, and actually, if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat, what is the work that you do in the world? I would love for us just to all get to see that, because I know there's amazing women in here doing amazing work in the world. So I would love to see that. I'm going to see, I got to bring up my chat over here. So I will try to keep track of this, but I'll always get back to it in a little bit of a break. So just put in there, what is the work that you're doing in the world? And that will help me as well. All right. Hi, Sandra. Okay. So as we start here, thinking about what makes great marketing, and I want to talk about what's working now, because this is a question I get a lot. Like, things have changed. We know, post-COVID economy, whatever. What's working now for service-based businesses? And I actually wanted to share a quick stat with you about business that I was just having a conversation with ChatGPT this morning while I was getting ready. And so this was so interesting. So I wanted the latest numbers on like the sizes of businesses in the US, right? Because I think a lot of times we learn marketing and it's for like, I mean, I learned it in my MBA program for like corporate marketing, right? But about 76 to 78% of businesses in the United States are solopreneurs, or and then those that have 1 to 4 employees is only 10 to 12% of businesses. So we could say 90% of businesses in this country have less than 4 people working in them. And so I really feel, like this way, the way of the common way of teaching marketing is often for people that have teams or have, can spend 40 hours a week on their marketing. And can any of us do that? No. We need marketing to be really simple, right? And something that, so I'm going to teach you how to do that today. Okay, so before I get too far off track, because, okay, so what makes great marketing and what's working now for marketing is marketing that creates connection. So anything that you're doing that brings you closer to your best fit clients before they've paid you. I always think of marketing as serving people before they've paid you, right? So it's any marketing that creates connection. And for all of us, and we'll talk more specifically about that in a little bit, but for all of us, we create connection a little bit differently, and that's okay. Marketing that's simple and simple for you. This doesn't mean like low quality or simplistic or not very pretty or whatever is important to you. It's marketing that's simple for you. It's you are the definition of simple. So simple for you to do, simple for you to think about, simple for you to execute on, simple for you to stay consistent on. And so that's what I mean when I say simple marketing, and it comes easy to you. And then marketing that is constrained. And what I mean by that is you don't have to be in all the places all the time. And I see so many women where, we've taken all these classes to see, what other people are doing or downloaded freebies or whatever. And we're like a mile wide and an inch deep in our marketing. And what's working now is constrained marketing that goes deep for us as helpers. Okay. And so when we do that, that's also where we will find our energy. So if you ever feel like marketing takes so much energy and so much time, and it takes you forever to write a post or forever to write an email, it might be because it's not simple for you. And that's okay, right? So think about the things that are simple for you and where your energy is. Where are the places and how are the places that you love to show up to meet people, right? And so the case for why simple is because when you're practicing simple marketing, and when you're doing things and activities that are simple for you and for your brain, then you have more energy, more of yourself, more of your creativity, more of your learning and resources can be pointed towards creating more value for those that you serve, right? And helping your people create what they want and help them get there faster, easier than ever before, right? So for example, I think about my client, I helped her implement an email system, right? An email, like she wants to do email marketing. And so I helped her set up and implement an email system. And so you can think about, you can spend, tons of time with tech, like learning tech, doing tech. Or you can do a simple marketing activity and spend all that time you would have spent on tech thinking about your clients and what do they need and how can I get closer to them and connected to them and serve them, right? Because we are the thought leaders in our industry, in our community, and the way that we help people, you're a thought leader. So anytime that you spend investing in your thinking, your skill development for helping your clients, that's going to be much better time spent than learning new tech. If you can, I'm not saying don't use tech because I use tech, but it's just the example of choosing where you put your energy and time, right? And if anybody has any questions as we go along, please feel free to raise your hand. So another example, like funnels are a big thing. We hear a lot about funnels and passive income and all of this, right? So you could learn how to build a funnel and do all the tech, but think about how does that create connection to your people? Or you can just have very simple, constrained, organic marketing, doing it in a way that feels aligned to your energy and what comes easy to you. And then you have more time, more energy to spend serving clients and creating new revolutionary solutions for them. So this is how I like to think about marketing. How can we make it simple? Okay. And so the shift for us is then that great marketing is simply serving. And serving, when you're out serving, that's marketing, right? And for me, this is the shift of get marketing, like I got to go out and get clients, get leads, convert, right? It's very conquesty, like, so it's the shifting from the get marketing to the giving and the service marketing. And so when I made this shift back in, I don't know, I guess it was 2016, I tell the story that I was feeling very disillusioned with marketing. And this was my career. Like I have a graduate degree in marketing. So I'm like, well, that's not very helpful for me, right? Like I hate my industry and I was very disillusioned and I was like, what am I doing? Just helping people that hate what they're doing and hate what they're selling go out and hawk things, you know? And I just was very disillusioned by it. And I was in this was in 2016 because I remember it so vividly. I was in the shower, cleaning my shower on a Saturday morning, listening to a podcast. And it was this woman talking about how she's creating a business to help women build businesses. And it just like struck me like lightning. I was like, oh, I could help women market and, sell what they're doing. And that just felt so revolutionary to me. But also, I just noticed that shift from this get sales to help serve, right? And it's just that minor shift. It changes everything. And for me, it's like it changes everything in the universe because a get kind of energy is very lack. Like I don't have enough clients. I don't have enough money. So I have to go out and get it, right? Whereas giving, having a business that is about serving and giving, you can't give or serve if you don't already have abundance, right? So it shifts you into that abundance energy without you having to do affirmations or anything. You just go out and give and serve and help people. And so that really was when I made a huge change in my business. And that's when I found coaching and started coaching and turned all of the, decades of experience that I have as a marketing expert to helping and serving and helping women to create financial freedom, and have gone on to help hundreds of them now. And so it's been so fun. And the funny thing is, there's this point of like trust. Like, can we trust that 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 running our business from a place of service and giving will actually make money? Because it's kind of countercultural, right? At least for me, and that's how I was raised in business school and all of that. But it works so much better and it feels so much better too, right? So, I'm going to go back to my presentation here. Does anybody have any questions as we're moving through this? Any thoughts? All right, Sandra,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just want to say, Melissa, I just so much appreciate what you said about thinking of marketing as serving instead of getting.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a huge shift for me because I try to do Facebook posts thinking, oh, this is going to get more people, to see me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a huge shift into serving,
It is.
thinking, yeah. So I really appreciate that. So thank you.
You're so welcome. And we are going to continue to discuss this idea and how you really implement it, right? Because it is a big idea, but then it's like, all right, now here I am sitting at my desk and I got to write a Facebook post. What am I going to do now? So we'll get to that, right? Okay. And so that's a perfect segue. So thank you, Sandra. I just have to bring up my notes on because I don't want to forget. So I was saying at the beginning of this that as I turned on my computer this morning, like everything wanted to update. And so my notes that I had all my notes in wanted to update, and I was like, no, it's not the time. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone here. So that's why I'm looking down, because I don't want to forget some of this stuff. Okay, so really then, if marketing is service and service is marketing, then, how do we actually do that? How do we implement that in our business? And so I'm going to go back to the slides here. And this is where my KISS method of marketing comes in. And so we're going to break this down. But basically, it's keep it simple, which we've been talking about simplicity, right? So keeping it simple. So the K is for keep connecting. So we always want to be connecting with other humans, people, new people, people that we have in our universe. I believe, and I teach this to all my clients, that every client that you have capacity for in your business right now is already in your network. And so if we just go out and connect with the people that are already around us and serve them and help them, our business will fill up. I've seen this happen in so many of my clients. This is how I've built my business, and it works, right? And so the I is for interacting and conversations. We always want to be connecting with people and building relationships, having conversations, interacting with them. And there's lots of ways we can do that. And the S is for service. And then, so when someone comes to you with something that you can help them with, then you step up, you have that awareness, and you just simply say, I can help you. Right? We're not trying to sell them anything. We're not trying to convert them. We're just saying, I can help you. I'm here. I care about you. I can help you. Right? And then always thinking about steps. What is the next step in the relationship? Right? So we're always meeting people. We are building relationships with them, telling them we can help them when it's appropriate. And then we're inviting them into next steps with us in our marketing. And if we're doing these 4 steps continually, your business will fill up. Your client roster will fill up. And you will have a continual flow of clients. And so let's just break these down. So in the K, we want to be, the goal in this step is really just to be meeting as many people as possible. And there's lots of ways you can do this. And so if we go back to what is simple for you, think about what are the ways that you love to meet people. Is it in person? Is it online? Is it, there's a lot of different ways that you can meet people. And then we will always want to be interacting, continually interacting. So the goal here is building and nurturing relationships. So we can interact with people, by commenting on social media posts, by, writing and sending emails, by making phone calls, texting, whatever, again, is simple for you, whatever feels good, and how you like to build and nurture relationships. Business is built on relationships. So the more you're out creating relationships with people in the ways that feel good to you, then the more business you'll have coming in. And then S is for service, is offering so the goal here is offering solutions, service, and value continually. And I like to measure my days by this. Like, who have I served today? Like, what is the value that I have offered my community, my audience, my clients today? And so it's solving problems, offering solutions. So the more you're making offers, the more money you'll make, the more money will come into your business. And so I love this quote by Zig Ziglar. He says, and just for those, some people may not know who he is, he's an author and a motivational speaker. But Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. So if you just think about that every day, I'm going to go out and help people get what they want, help my people get what they want, right? And I teach my clients to do this without holding anything back. I know there's a lot of talk out there like you know, you don't want to give away the farm. But I say just serve without holding anything back. And giving away the farm, I think, would be like doing the work you do with your clients for free. Like we don't, you know, the deep work that you do with your clients, that's for pay, right? But there's so many things you can do to serve people without them paying you. And then finally is steps. So we always want to be making invitations for people to go to the next step with you. So thinking about what is the next step in the relationship. So if someone sees you, or you know, you meet someone, say at a networking event, you want to connect with them, say, it was great to meet you at the networking event. I send emails. It was great meeting you at the networking event. I'd love to get to know you better. Let's have coffee, or let's schedule a Zoom chat, or whatever it is. And then on the Zoom chat, you have a great conversation. You're like, oh, I would love to have you, you know, be a guest on my podcast, or I'd love to invite you to come to this event with me. Or just always be thinking how you can further relationships. Now, you're going to meet people that you're not connected with and aligned with, and you don't have to, you know, make invitations and offers to everybody, just the ones where you feel like it's aligned. But you just always want to be making those invitations and to make that part of your business standard. I know for me, you know, there was a time in, you know, when I was developing this process for myself where I'd meet someone at networking, I'd invite them to coffee, we'd go out for coffee, and then it would be like, okay, bye. And I'd never talk to him again. And that's kind of a missed opportunity, right? And so I started doing this where I'm always thinking about what would be our next, you know, logical step, right? And you're not going from coffee to, you know, asking them to work with you unless that's what they want. But it's not like you're inviting people out for a hard sell. And, you know, I always advise my clients, like, really tune in to what feels aligned for you in the relationship, right? So, but you're always thinking about how can I continue building this relationship with this person? So that, if you're doing those 4 things, that's our KISS marketing method. And if you're, you know, you could even use this as I mean, I use this kind of is how I build my marketing plan, my 1-page marketing plan. Like, how are all the ways this month or this year that I'm going to be connecting with people? And usually I would recommend it's just 2 or 3, because we go back to simple. Where can I make it simple for my brain to think about and to do and to keep consistent, but then use the leftover energy to go deep in those environments to connect with people? And then how am I going to be interacting, staying in touch with people, interacting and connect and having conversations with them? For me, it's email and social media. And I host a monthly networking, right? And so then the next step in your marketing plan is service. Like, how do you want to serve people? What are all the ways that you can shepherd those relationships along, right? And that goes into the invitations as well. What are all the steps people can take with you? So how's that feeling for everybody? Does it feel simple? Okay,
Yeah, Melissa, I really appreciate it because it does all come back to mindset. I mean, I know when I'm resisting this so much and just knowing you have something of value to offer people it's like I keep thinking, I am doing them a disservice by not following these steps. So these are great, great reminders. And the whole funnel thing that you mentioned earlier, it is so easy, especially once we've been online for a while and getting a lot of who's who with the freebies. And then you download these things and think we have to do all these things. And I've gotten lost a lot of times doing that.
Yeah.
Getting away from the simple. And like you said, the goal is to go deep, not wide. And that sums it up for me a lot. So this is really helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad it's helpful. It is, and it is so hard to stay in your lane. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but it does come down to trusting and that confidence, right? That you know what you're doing. But yeah, when we see these gurus say, well, I did, this funnel hack or whatever, and I figured it out. And if you just do this, you're going to make $1 million. Well, yes, it worked for that guru 100%. And it all works, right? And that's another thing I tell my clients, all the marketing works. And so the what actually works though for you is where can you bring your energy? Because all the tactics will work. So yeah, you could build funnels, but in this day and age, it doesn't work as well to, have all this space between you and your people. I think especially for us as helpers, it's probably not true for e-commerce businesses that are selling goods, but for us as helpers, I think our marketing has to be very service connection oriented because that helps build trust and safety for people to buy from us. Heidi.
Maybe we're going to be going there, Melissa. I for myself as a marketing challenge, I find that I'm really good with the networking and talking with people and offering help. The challenge then is asking for money and yeah, put a price and set the stage and the distinction between the connection call and the coffee, and then the next step and invite them to engage for free. The transition when they cross that line of prospect to client, they've actually paid you for something. For me, that has been the challenge of that coming from a service mindset.
Yeah.
It's so easy to keep giving for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, have a boundary where, well, here to cross this boundary, there is an exchange, a compensation, financial compensation. Maybe we can talk more about that. I think it's a challenge for many of us in a heart service thing. Everything you're saying, like, yeah, sure, great. But then the other side of it is, when is this going to actually be revenue?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think what I've been learning recently that's been really helpful for me, because we all get caught in that, right? We're helpers. We have hearts of gold and we want to save the world and all the people in it, right? That's just where we are. And that's like if you think about it, like our helper self. So we have kind of a dual personality in our businesses. We have our helper self, and then we have our entrepreneurial self. So the entrepreneur or the CEO is the side of us that's thinking about the revenue, protecting the profit, the business part of things. And so both sides of us, both sides are important, and we have to work within both of them, but understand what the different roles are. And so we can get a little out of balance, right? So if you're noticing that, it's a great awareness to have. And then we can go to that entrepreneur side and say, okay, how do we solve for that? And so one thing that I would suggest, just in hearing the short thing that your question, is really spending time establishing your value to yourself, selling yourself on how valuable, what is the actual impact and result of the work that you're doing with people, and what is it worth? I was just doing this with a client yesterday, and we went through this exercise. I have this exercise that I do with my clients around establishing value. And at the beginning of it, she's charging for the first time for the service, and she wants to charge $50 an hour. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. When the market, will bear probably 3 times that. But then we talk through, like, what's the value of, of the service that you provide? And we talked about it in detail. And at the end of it, she's like, I'm saving my clients tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, are you kidding? They're not going to, spend an hour with you and spend $100 to save thousands and thousands, tens of thousands. And so when you really go in and examine that value, and then you have to keep establishing it for yourself. Like, I have to sell myself on the work I do every morning. I spend time selling myself on the value that I have to offer, because our human brain is always going to take us back to, we're worthless, we suck, and we should just go back to bed. Right? And so, it does take, it's like exercise. If you don't lift weights regularly, your muscles are going to atrophy, right? And so we have to continue that practice and establishing that value for ourselves before we can ever sell anyone else on it. Yeah, so I hope that's helpful. Okay. But Robin, you bring up a great point. It's like, how do we, really have that confidence, right? Okay, so just going back to this is kind of our thought of the day. And what if you take nothing from this hour, take this one thing, that marketing is serving and serving is marketing. So if you're out serving people that haven't paid you yet, in the time of your day that you're not serving the clients that have paid you, your business will grow. Let's just make it that simple. I can guarantee that. Okay. So, and so what I love about this idea, this concept, is that the thing that you're already an expert at doing and love to do and have built a business around, that is also your marketing. That's how you market as well, right? And so, so just think about how that feels in your body in contrast to maybe how you felt about your marketing when you came into this room this morning. And I know we've had this question already, yes, but how? So, there's lots of different ways that specific ways that we each can do these steps that we talked about in the KISS method, right? And what works for others might not work for you. And what works for you might not work for others, right? And that's true for all of entrepreneurship, let's be honest. And it's a lot of experimentation, and that's okay. It's part of the entrepreneurial journey. There is no one way to market, and there is no one way to sell, and there is no one way to build a business. You are building a 1 in a billion business, your unique flavor of business. And so thinking about that, just trust that you are going to build a business that's best for you, right? And what works for your people, your industry, in any particular economic climate. And so this is a lot of the guidance that I offer my clients, right? Is finding the system that works best for them and what's is most effective. Then we implement it, and then we evaluate and see what worked, what didn't work, and what we want to change. That's the entrepreneurial journey. So switching from getting to serving and practicing marketing that way creates a lot of confidence, is what I find. And so if you're asking, like, how am I going to show up as my best self and be confident and consistent in your marketing? Making this one shift to serving is going to give you some huge traction in that, because it feels more like you. I want you to choose marketing that feels more like you. It allows you, is simple for you, right? It allows you to work in your zone of genius for more time in your days. So you're not funnel hacking. You're just out helping people in the way you're already brilliant. It creates trust and safety to buy for your prospective clients because you're aligned. And when you're aligned with what you're doing in your marketing, people can sense that and they feel safe with you. They feel like they can trust you. And it also creates impact and change in the world because you are offering and giving your gifts to more people rather than trying to write the very perfect Facebook post, right? And it gives you more time freedom too, because marketing takes a lot less time when you're not, Sisyphus trying to push the boulder up the hill all the time with your marketing. So what's required? So in order to really get the best of this is three things. So first of all, it's frequently coming back to the service piece, right? We're going to be out on the internet. We're going to be hearing peers telling us what they're doing. We're going to be seeing things on Instagram, and there's always this pull to look for the perfect thing. And we think marketing is this one perfect, it's almost like a code, like we have to break the code, right? Like there's one perfect word, action, video, something that's going to open up the floodgates of clients for us. And that's not true, right? So you frequently coming back to service, coming back to yourself in your marketing, that is number one. Number two is creating a new self-concept, that you are a brilliant practitioner in the work that you do. And because of that, it also makes you a brilliant marketer. And it takes owning that what you're offering and the change that you make in the world has a huge impact on your clients. So that goes back to Heidi's question, right? Is really changing your self-concept and how you see yourself. And when you do that, then others will see you that way too. And owning that you're on a mission, right? You're on a mission to make big change in the world, or even just big change in one person's life, this one client in front of you, right? And then, it does take a lot of trust. We as women are, I think, in our culture, a lot of times in our US culture, we are taught to not trust our own inner knowing, right? We are so, especially around business, around money, around these sorts of topics. And so learning to trust yourself and that you have good instincts, good business instincts, is a huge shift and will make such a big impact on how you run your business, how you handle your money, and how you market your business as well. So rather than looking for the next magic marketing, strategy out there, talk to your, if you want to spend time talking to people outside of you, talk to your clients, talk to your best, your prospective clients, your community, and ask them what they need and how you can help them, and, offer to help them, ask them how you can help them. And then there's some, so we're trusting ourselves and then leaving some of it to God, the universe, or magic, right? Because when we go out into the world in a spirit of service, we can't go wrong. I know that 100%. And it does take trust to focus on service and to trust that it works. But I got to this point because I've been through all of this, right? It's like, all right, what's the alternative? I can do what I'm doing now and feel awful in my marketing and under earning in my business already, right? That's the worst case. Or I can go out into the world in service and create connections. And even if I'm making as little money as I'm making now, I'm fulfilled, at least in doing it, right? But what I've seen happen when we make this shift is demand for your service and the impact you make in the world increases. so much so that you can increase your prices. I've seen clients spreading their message and having a huge impact. One of my clients went from, when she started working with me, $13K a year and to over $1 million in 3 years by switching to this. Or clients focusing in on their few best clients and then being able to exponentially increase their value and increase their income to over 6 figures while narrowing and paring down their actual client load. I've seen clients even begin charging or starting their business and begin charging for the services that they never thought they could. So, and, which allowed this one client to stay in her business, continue to grow her impact and help more people and support her family. So it's a really powerful way of thinking about marketing and selling. And so we all have a choice, right? It's like, what's next? Do I want to leave things the way they are, or do I want to make some shifts? And so what I would just ask for you today is like, how do you want to take what you learned today and the time you have invested? Because we know for us busy CEOs, time is more precious than money even. And what is the shift you want to make in your marketing? And think about what's possible for you, right? That maybe you could feel less overwhelmed in your marketing and more clarity. Or maybe you can have a greater impact on that one person or few people and increase the fulfillment that you feel in your business and in your marketing. And simplicity and paring down and greatly simplifying what you're doing in your marketing so you can offer greater value. That is always a win-win. I love that. And having less complexity and less wasting time on, marketing tactics and strategies that just aren't you. And what I also know is possible is more clients, more revenue, and more fun. And who doesn't want that in our business, right? Okay. So, and so as we wrap up today, I wanted to have a little time for question and answer, but I also want to be sure and offer to you the next step with me, which is if you, I am offering an implementation call where together, privately, one-on-one, we can look at where you are in your business and what's working in your marketing and what's not, and really go in and pinpoint what is not creating leads for you and the sales you want. And based on what we talked about today, I will offer the shifts that you can make in your marketing to get to your goal. Because it is my mission to support you and help you get to that place where marketing and spreading your brilliance is simple and clear and even fun. So if you want one-on-one time with me, there's the link. Oh, I should put the link in the chat too. I will definitely do that. Let's see. I'm just going to go to the next slide and I'll grab that. So, and let's stay in touch. Here is my phone number, my website, you all know that, and my email address, where you can find me on social. I would love to stay connected with you. I will get that link in the chat, and I want to support all of you in enjoying your business, enjoying your marketing, and growing it to whatever level that you want to help you achieve that financial freedom. So with that, I'm going to transition to Q&A. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to come off of share and then I'll drop the link. I'm going to have to go find it because like I said, my computer shut down and everything. How can I support you based on what we talked about today? What questions do you have? I here. Any
I guess
thoughts?
it's more of a thank you, Melissa. I know that I need to get out in person to network more just because I just spend too much time behind my computer. And I went to an event yesterday and I said, oh my gosh, this just fills me up. And in fact, we had, I think, 5 or 6 women there for Jess's event. And
Oh, yeah.
it was just buzzing and felt great. Another thing, just to throw this out, that's fun is I go volunteer with those ladies that have the financial, once a month, they do the food bank. And so it's been a fun way to get out, and I'm not really serving them, but we're serving together.
Yeah.
But yeah, you put a fire under my butt to get out more, because that, when you're talking about what do you love and what's simple, that's when the conversations can take place where we can listen and say, oh, is this somebody that I could help? So, and I know you're really, really good at that. So I watch you set a great example of that as well.
And when you're tuned in and have that awareness of what really lights you up, that also up levels your self-concept. Because the more time you can spend in that energy, how can you not be successful? How can you not have a higher, better self-concept?
I agree, because you do feel it when you're out there. It's just, there's, yeah, I came home so filled up. I said, okay, your body tells you for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So glad you guys are here. Any other reflections, takeaways? Would everyone like to share a takeaway that they're taking with them today? I would love that, if you're willing, either in the chat or just share with us what landed for you. Hi, Terry.
Melissa, I just wanted to say you connected with the idea of service. I guess I've been in service forever as an RN, and the thought that I could make marketing service is just exciting to me. And I look forward to working on that concept. So thank you.
I love that. That's so good. You're welcome. Yeah, Heidi.
Something caught my ear, and I think it's a place for me to learn. When you're with someone, is it asking what do they need for help, or are you offering help? Do they need to know what they need yet? Or are you offering something from what you're hearing in that moment and saying, I can help you with that? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point in the relationship are we? Is my question to you.
If it's someone you think you don't know them well, you have reason to think they would benefit from working with you.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wants anything shoved down their throat, like, oh, I have a program, here.
Yeah.
I don't mean it like that, but more, is it, I hear you need, or how would it feel you've just described that this is what you would love.
Yeah.
If I could help you get there faster, easier, would you be interested? Is that the way to phrase it, as opposed to, I've done all this with people just like you, and I think, this would help you. Who's driving the conversation in that moment, I guess, is my question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe this will help. So when I am having a conversation with someone and I hear something that I might be able to help them with, either I'll say that, like, if you're interested in talking more about that issue, I'm happy to help you. Or if it's even earlier on in a relationship, I might ask, like, how can I support you? Or, can we get together, and I'd love to learn more about you, and maybe I can support you in that. And it's not get together as in, you're going to buy something before me before I'll help you, but
Right.
just, how can I support you? Or I might say that's work I do with my clients. And if I can offer any support, please let me know. Would that be helpful to you? I guess I do a lot of questions and curiosity. And, for me, it's a lot less about, it just goes back to that getting versus giving. So rather than like getting an appointment or whatever, I'm thinking about asking questions and curiosity and just, offering to help if it feels right.
Right. So first there's a connection, nice to meet you, get to know you, who are you, human being? And then hearing what they're saying, being with them, really listening, and then, I hear you dealing with it. I guess the creating of the future that's possible, does that idea come in when you're actually in a call where you're exploring working together, or is that sooner?
I would think it's probably in a call where you're exploring working together, because that conversation is going to be in a consultation will be much deeper. It'll be much more focused on only them and what's, where they are now, where they want to be.
Right.
And in an informal conversation, it's more like, I want to get to know you, and then you want to ask me questions, and we're just getting to know each other. And it's a different level of depth.
Gotcha. Yes.
Is that helpful?
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so just always going back to that, how can I support you? That kind of energy for me works really well in opening people up. Yeah.
Love it.
Can I share something about you, Melissa, that I've observed when you are networking?
Sure.
And I don't know, Heidi, if this helps at all, but one thing I see Melissa do a lot is in the moment, she's asking a question that will help them in the moment. So almost like doing some laser coaching without putting on her coaching hat, but she's actually trying to solve even the littlest thing with them. If I've just watched her work her magic, and it could be someone she just met, or someone that's making statements about something that's not working once they find out what she does. And I think you're a master at that, Melissa, where it is very, very obvious that you're giving, and the rest is attracting, so, but I've seen you do that. You did it with me at conference. She makes you squirm a little bit, so what we coaches do, I know, but I can't even remember what that was, but you caught me on my resistance to marketing, probably. I can't remember what the conversation was, but just in the moment, she asks some magical questions that kind of get you over a little bit of a hump, and definitely, yeah, that's what I've noticed.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Curiosity always rules the day for me. I'm just a curious person, but yeah. All right. So I know it's top of the hour. I want to respect your calendars. And so I want to just thank you all for being here. And I do want to support you in any way that I can. So that link, if you want to have a one-on-one chat with me, that link is in the chat. And we will be coming back here the last Thursday in September, which will be the 26th. So invite all your friends and bring your marketing queries. And so today is really a great foundation of kind of where I build all of my thinking from. And so in this next month, if you can just kind of experiment with this shift around marketing as serving, it just makes such a huge difference. When you sit down and write your emails or your Facebook posts or whatever, it's just like, how can I serve my person today? And it just is a completely different feel to everything. And it's actually more fun too. So with that, Terry, if you want to stay on, I can help you out there. I don't know if I put in the chat what time's good for you, and I'm happy to accommodate whatever time is good for you. But for the rest of you, thank you so much for being here. If there's any last questions or thoughts, I do have a few minutes to stay on, but want to respect your times for all my busy CEOs here today. And we'll see you next time. And if not sooner, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Melissa.
Thank you,
very much.
Melissa.
Appreciate
Bye.
you.
Bye.
price.